Hey everybody, welcome back. I wasn't gonna do a video of this, just hey, the camera's crooked. There you go. Making another one of them cutting boards, but main thing, just a quick, well, I know I say quick videos, but they never are generally. But I just want to talk about the glue up of these. And after I glue it, I'll show you some other stuff that what I got going on here. But the main thing, I've seen everybody's got their own opinion on gluing. And I've seen people that said, just put glue on one side, that's all you need. And yeah, one side probably be fine. The way I do it does waste some glue, but I just want to make sure that it is completely covered, 100% covered in glue, no missed spots. So even though I do one side and then I flip it over and do the other side, and then I do the same on the next board, well, if there happens to be a spot that I missed, it'll catch it. And now something I do, and I don't know, can't really, I guess you can, but whenever I come down here to the bottom, I got some sawdust down here, and I use my finger for gluing. I grab some of the, I let a little bit of the sawdust get on my finger and kind of work it into the glue, and that just helps with a little bit of the slippage. And it still slips, and you can put little pieces of sand, or I know some people that they use sugar, little pieces of sugar. I just figure generally in a woodworking shop you got plenty of sawdust, so I might as well use what's readily available. And it works fine for what I'm doing, and it'll compress into the wood or mush down to where it's flat, so I've never had an issue with it. But I just wanted to show that with the gluing, because I try to get it a good coat. I'd rather have a little bit too much glue than not enough. And then this is walnut and hickory that I'm using, which right now I've been making these for some guys at work, and I'll use other woods for these. There's certain woods I don't like using for cutting boards, like oak. Oak looks pretty. I like the look of oak, but oak is very porous wood. I mean, if you're going to cover it with food grade epoxy or something, okay, or if you get really picky about making sure you seal it a lot with mineral oil, then it's okay. But in this one, I'm just doing a little different. I'll show you after I get it glued up. I've got some walnut pieces that I got at an auction, and I got them really cheap, but they got cracks in them, and there's a lot of cracks, and I understand. I get why I got those so cheap, because there's a lot of imperfections, and you end up kind of wasting a lot of wood, really. If you're just wanting to make cutting boards or tables or things like that, because there's a lot. You cut out a lot of the wood, and you know, I had it in another video. This is hickory. It was hickory flooring, but and I'm doing a inlay in this. This is just little thin pieces of the walnut that I cut off, and I just thought it looked cool. And that's the thing. I mean, the last cutting boards I did walnut with hickory, and I had these little strips I was cutting off to get the edge the way I wanted. And you know, they had hey everybody, sorry about that. My son called me. That's one of the disadvantages of using your phone to take videos with. Okay, well, where I left off on the other one, I had these offcuts of walnut, and I couldn't use the ones that I just trim a little thin piece off to make my edge nice and smooth, make a good glue joint. And the after I was looking at it though, I had some chunks that, like, really there wasn't enough there to make it worthwhile to you know, cut a piece for like a cutting board or whatever. So I thought, well, why don't I just cut some thin strips, and I can use them for inlays, and it'd just look really good, or at least I think it does. I like the light and the dark wood offset to each other. I don't like something that's all dark or all light. I mean, I have seen a couple of dressers that they were made out of white oak, and now I like the look of the white oak. But normally I don't like just all one color. I like the contrast. But I was just going to show you. I kind of wanted to just show you that inlay, and talk about the glue thing. But yeah, the sawdust, just keep a pile of it down. Even if you use one of those glue brushes, which, you know, eventually I might get one. I just never have. It's not that I'm against them. I just never have got one. But it would work with them too, because you can just dip it in the sawdust, and the sawdust ain't gonna hurt nothing. I mean, it's coming. You don't want like shards, chunks of sawdust, you know, but the little pieces of sawdust would be fine. And normally I use Titebond 3, and sometimes I use Titebond 2. It's just kind of whatever's on sale between those two. I generally use Titebond 3 because it's completely waterproof. For this application, 2 would work fine, because 2 is still water resistant, and you're going to keep this thing, if you take care of the cutting board like you're supposed to, you're going to keep it covered up anyways with oil. So you don't really have to worry about the waterproof glue, but it's still water resistant. So and then we'll end off with, and of course, the end pieces, I only do one side of them. Don't need to do the outside. You can get them fancy glue jugs, and there's nothing wrong with them. But I just buy the glue by the gallon, and which I got a gallon over there. I just buy it by the gallon, and I just refill. You can pop these tops off and clean them out. So there's that. And I don't know, you can probably, yeah, you can tell. These are a little higher than the walnut. I'm going to run this through the planer after everything dries. And so I'm not too worried about that. These are strips that I got that are different size, you know. See if you can see here. Yes, I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, see the line right there where I was initially cutting it. Because doing the initial cut, I just ran it through the saw, and that was to get it roughly where I wanted it. But I'm going to put these on the outside so my clamps don't eat into that walnut that I got there. There we go. I like these clamps that go on the pipe, metal pipe. So I got to get some more, but I do have this set over here. I got to get some more pipe, but I have these. This is what, after I throw it, that's what I'm talking about. These are, you get 2 of these and cut pipe whatever length you want. And now you can buy pre-made pipe, but like say you wanted 2 5-foot ones, grab a 10-foot stick. They're threaded on each end. You cut it in half. And the clamp side doesn't, the slide side doesn't need to be threaded. It's just the side that's got the tightening screw on it. And then you get this as tight as you can get it. And then I got a couple of these. I got a couple of these F-style clamps that I use, and these are mainly when you do the inlays on the outside, at least I've found. These are mainly for like when I do the inlays on the outside of it. Because they like to bow out sometimes. And you're going to make a mess. These just make a mess. Not the clamps, the glue. There we go. And I'm not too concerned about all of the glue. I try to take off swap a big chunk of it off. Because all this is going to be ran through the planer anyways. And if you have something like you're doing a tabletop, you can always run it. Now I'm just slopping it around more than anything right now. So the bottom, yeah, the bottom looks all right. The bottom's just going to be a drippy mess, so it doesn't really matter. And then let that dry. And I needed to get this done. I got some other stuff I'm getting ready to show you, but I needed to get this glued up. Well, I didn't need to get it glued up, but I needed to do all of the, let me turn you. See, here's, you can't see them right now because, you know, all the glue. But, and I would get a little pickier on cleaning it because I know it's not overly great on your planer blades, but I am getting ready to change those blades. So it's not, this is the last thing I'm probably going to run through before I change them. But I wanted to get all the planer work and all the table saw work done. Because even though I'll show you I don't have a dust collection system here. So, I do kind of. I have my shop vac that I hook up with the hose. But my filter is completely shot and I didn't go get a new one yet. But I was doing a lot of sawing today. And I got some other projects over here. Like I got the bottom of this done. The hardware cleaned up. Got the bottom all painted. I got to paint the inside of the door still, but I got the rest of it painted. I got to still got to paint the top. But there's that desk. There's the piece in the middle, and back there's the drawer. But there's the desks that I cut up. The desk I cut the metal out and made 2 tables out of. So there's the little embellishments that go right here on each side. I took them off and painted them. I'm gonna stain the top a dark, and I'm gonna do the bottom this gray like this. And I have this little dresser here that I've got it. Other than I gotta sand that little piece back there. I gotta take it off and sand it. But I'm going to stain the drawers in the top, and then I'm going to paint the rest of it. But I didn't want to do all that painting while I was throwing sawdust everywhere. And then this is actually the bottom to that. It was a china cabinet. But I'm going to make this. This is now going to be a foyer table. And then this, I'm going to put a bottom in it and take that stuff off and make that into a little curio cabinet. So, and there's some stuff back there. But see all that was all cleaned up earlier. That's just from the planer today. But earlier I was talking about where I had some chunks that like this one this would be okay because I could get, but for a cutting board I wouldn't really want to use that. You know, for something else it'd be okay, but this is what I used just to cut these little thin pieces out of the walnut. They're good for inlays. But you know, I got a bunch of pieces like that. That was actually one piece right here. And after I cut it, it was like that. It was cracked. And after I cut it and dropped it down there, you know, it split open. Well, you can't use that for cutting boards, so. But for my shop, it's actually kind of fairly clean. I got the generator out today and fired it up, let it run for a while. It's good to do that. Start them things up and let them run every once in a while. That's the carburetors the fuel system getting gummed up on them is usually the worst thing. So if you fire them up, start them up every once in a while, put some fresh fuel in them every now and then, they'll last you quite a long time. But got all that cleaned out underneath there, and kind of got this over here organized some. There's all my cut off scrap, and there's this side of the garage still needs work, but got my chainsaws up there. Kind of got this halfway organized again. Got that cleaned off. Got a home for my sandpaper and stuff now, so got the workbench cleaned off, and it won't last, but it's clean at the moment. But hey, like, subscribe, and watch, and all that good junk. I want to make something out of that top. It's actually that desk. It's an older desk, and it's real wood, but it's been laminated. I don't exactly know what kind of wood that is, but this is like you get a lot of furniture from the 70s that was 60s and 70s that was real wood, but they used, cheaper wood. And this is actually, it kind of almost looks like it's an oak laminate, but it's regular wood underneath there. But hey, I'll get off here on this. I was doing that cutting board real quick, so I wanted to just make a video. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.